Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Home to Inspire DIY and Decor. If you are new, thank you for clicking on my video, and I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. If you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for returning and for supporting my channel. Don't forget to give me a like, share my videos, and comment down below. I would love to hear from you. I have some Christmas home decor hacks using muffin liners. I hope you enjoy this video. Let's get to crafting. DIY number 1 is going to be a Christmas tree beaded garland. I use muffin liners from my stash, but you can pick them up from Dollar Tree, Walmart, craft stores, but these I already had on hand. So I went with a solid color as well as the printed color. So you're essentially taking one liner, folding it in half, and folding it one more time to create this triangular shape. For each tree, you're going to need 3 liners. This is going to create a Christmas tree design, if you will. I started by folding all of my papers first, enough to create the length of whatever size you want your garland to be. So I just continued on with this process, folding the liner in half and then folding it again to create this triangle shape. And later on, once I have all the liners folded, I'll get to gluing them down so that they're more secure and stays in that folded shape. So just go ahead and continue folding all of your paper until you have the amount that you need to create the garland. So in order to make this look like a Christmas tree, you're going to want to glue each of your pieces on top of each other. I'm using some hot glue to do that, and also in between each of the folds. And I just continued to do this until I was done with this step. Once that part was done, I used some baker's twine, measured out the length that I needed in order to hang my trees from this beaded garland. And I just cut enough strips for all of my trees. I used some hot glue to attach them to the back of my trees so that this can hang off of the beaded garland. Next, it was time to attach these Christmas trees to the beaded garland. So here I'm just trying to figure out the placement of my trees. I went ahead and tied the trees to the beaded garland and made adjustments as needed if I found that they were too close to one another. And this completes the first project. I think it came out super cute. So for my second Christmas decor hack, again I'm taking some muffin liners and I'm gonna go ahead and cut a slit and cut around until I end up with sort of a ruffled piece. I don't need the center portion of that circle, so I'm just cutting around that and using the outer edges of this muffin liner, just like so. So I go ahead and cut quite a bit of this. Not really sure at that time how many I needed to create this next DIY, but I just kept cutting until I felt I had enough to start with. So here I'm taking one of these styrofoam tree forms that came from Dollar Tree, and I'm just trying to figure out how I wanted to start this DIY. Wasn't sure if I was going to start the ruffles at the top or at the bottom, but eventually ended up just starting it from the bottom, just as you see here. And using some hot glue, I just start to glue around the base of this tree form. I'm creating layers as I go along, making sure to cover as much of the white foam as I can so it wouldn't be too visible between the liners. So I kept repeating the process, layering each of those liners that I cut on top of the other, and it's looking like ruffles. So I'm going to continue this process until the entire tree is filled with this buffalo check muffin liner that I'm using. So this is a very repetitive process and does take a lot of hot glue. And the end result is really cute. You can use any type of muffin liners that you want. Muffin liners comes in so many different types of prints and designs. So I'm sure you could make this project for any holiday, even birthdays, if you wanted to use it for a birthday decoration or tabletop decor. You can even use torn paper. But since this video is all about Christmas decor hacks using muffin liners, that's exactly what I'm showing you here. So I've sped up the process since it is very tedious and repetitive. And you'll just want to keep going around and around until you've covered the entire base of this tree form. And as you saw right there, I went ahead and wrapped the top of that tree, just wrapping around it to cover it. I was going to add another layer of the ruffle to make it look more fuller. So here I'm just repeating the same steps as I did in the first part, except this time, in order to create a longer strand of this ruffle, I went ahead and took about 3 strips of the liner and glued them to each other, creating more of a longer piece. That way I wouldn't have to keep stopping and adding more of the liner. I was able to have more of a continuous flow by gluing those 3 pieces of the liner to each other, and it made it easier to just wrap around this tree as well. So as you can see, this tree is getting fuller just by wrapping that second row or layer of this liner. And it was making the process a lot more quicker. So just continue on with this until you're content with how full you want your tree to be. Now, if you wanted more of a narrow tree, you don't have to do this step. You could just leave it the way it was in the first part. And you can embellish this tree as much as you want or keep it as simple as you want. You can add some pom-pom trims to this if you wanted to. Or ribbon. You can even add a star to the top. It's really up to you how far you want to take this. And that wraps up DIY number 2, and I think it came out super cute, and I hope you enjoyed this one. For the next Christmas decor hack, I use a long strand of yarn as well as red and white muffin liners that I folded in half. This was the most simple of the DIYs in this video to make. Takes very little time to do. All you do is just fold a muffin liner in half and sandwich the yarn in between, and using hot glue, just closing it up. You basically repeat the same process until you have all your muffin liners glued into place, which essentially creates this banner. And I made mine very simple. I didn't add anything more to this, but you can embellish this as much as you want if you wanted to create more decorated look. If you wanted to add ribbon or bells to it, you can do that, but I chose to just keep mine simple to give you an idea of how little it can take or little time and materials it can take to create something so simple but yet festive for your holidays. You can make several of these if you wanted to and just layer them on each other, maybe above a china hutch or above a window or door frame. The possibilities are endless with this one. This is very customizable to fit your own decor. You can even make this for any holidays or other occasions. A very super easy last minute DIY that would add a festive touch to your home, and I really like the outcome, and I hope you enjoyed this one as well. For my final Christmas decor hack, I am taking one of these styrofoam balls, some muffin liners that I used from my previous DIY, and I'm making a kissing ball. So all I did was take one of these liners and folded it in half. Not really folding it flat like I did for the first project, but sort of scrunching it up. And as I did that, I just went ahead and glued it directly onto the styrofoam ball using hot glue and kept repeating the process of scrunching up the liner. So you're going to want to sort of fold it, but not really. As you're folding it in half, you're going to want to sort of pinch the bottom part till you have the scrunched up look. And that's how you're going to create like those petals. So you want to keep adding glue to the areas that you're about to glue this down on, making sure that you're filling up every gap or every space so that the white parts are not visible, and to create more of a fuller look. So when I reached the halfway point of gluing down all of the liners, I took a piece of ribbon, and using my scissors, I created a hole at the top of the styrofoam ball where the ribbon will be glued into it. So I just folded a piece of ribbon in half, making sure to leave the loop at the top, and that's how this will hang. And I sort of just pushed the ribbon through the hole using my scissors and adding some hot glue into that hole just to secure it into the styrofoam ball. I continue to make more of my petals, folding and scrunching up the muffin liners as needed. I just kept repeating the same process until I got the fullness that I wanted. So that wraps up this last DIY. I hope you guys like this one. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Have a great day.